Hello, Orcs Magic here, Chris here. Hope you're all doing well on this fine day. I'm coming to you today with a tech video of my own deck, which I run in Modern at the minute, which is blue-black zombies. Basically, it is an aggro with a bit of control. Basically, you cast things, they die, and then you can cast them back from the graveyard. And it could just cause an absolute headache for your opponent if this goes off. It is kind of a bit rushy as well, but it tends to be you keep more control and you keep the aggression on as much as possible. So without further ado, we'll go straight to our first creature, which is 1 mana, and it's Crypt Breaker. Now it's a 1/1. Basically, its abilities are 1 mana and 1 black. You tap it, discard a card, put 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. And also its other ability is tap 3 untapped zombies you control. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. I run 4 of these in my deck. These are an absolute must, because you can combo these with the Gravecrawlers and the Prize Amalgams. And basically, you can tap it, get a 2/2 zombie. So say for example, like turn 4, you got a Gravecrawler in the graveyard, you got a Prize Amalgam in your hand. Tap the Crypt Breaker, get a 2/2 zombie, put the Prize Amalgam in the graveyard, cast the Gravecrawler back, and you get the Prize Amalgam. You can't complain at that for 1 mana on your next turn. Getting 3 creatures out, basically. But yeah, Crypt Breaker is an absolute must. The other 1 mana creature I run in this deck is Gravecrawler, which is a 2 attack 1 defense creature. Gravecrawler can't block, and you may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. Now this is your main brute force. Basically, you really want this in your hand as well as Crypt Breaker, because as long as you control a zombie, basically you can keep swinging with this. It dies and go, oh well, it's just died, I'll put it back on the field. It is absolutely lethal, and it's the reason why I run 4 of these as well, the Crypt Breakers, because they just combo with each other really nicely, especially early game. Moving on to 2 mana, I run 3 of these. It is Relentless Dead. I'm possibly looking at running 4 of these in this deck. Basically, it's got Menace, and it's a 2/2 creature, and you tap it for 2 black mana. And its abilities are: when Relentless Dead dies, you may pay black. If you do, return it to its owner's hand, which is a really unique, because you can keep putting it back in your hand and recasting it if it dies, as long as you've got that mana untapped. But its other ability is: when Relentless Dead dies, you may pay X, and if you do, return another target zombie creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now this is another Prize Amalgam trigger. So basically you could return that to battle when, say, Relentless Dead dies, pay 1 black to return it to your hand, and pay another black to cast another Gravecrawler back to the battlefield along with a Prize Amalgam, and you combo that together. Creates a nice little combo for the run. So basically, when they've got rid of 1 creature, they've got 2 creatures back on the battlefield. Excuse me. Better yet, Prize Amalgam then is untapped on your stage. So they're my 1 and 2 mana creatures I run. 3 mana, which is sort of mainly my bulk creatures I run, which I've already talked about, is Prize Amalgam, which is 1 mana and a blue and a black, and it is a 3/3 creature. I run 4 of these, and basically its ability is: whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it entered from your graveyard, or you cast it from your graveyard, return Prize Amalgam from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped at the beginning and the end. So basically, if you cast Gravecrawler back from your graveyard to the battlefield, that comes back. if you use Relentless Dead's ability to get a creature back from the battlefield to the battlefield, that comes back. Basically, this is a creature that keeps coming, swinging back and forth, and back and forth. So basically, you can swing along this with the grave crawlers and do some massive damage with this. And beyond you, especially with my other creatures like a Diagraph Captain, which I'm going to explain in a minute, it can get very stupid very quickly. And it is a reason why I run 4 of these, because they can get wrong really quickly. So moving on to my second creature, I run 4 of these, is Diagraph Captain. And you tap 1 mana, 1 blue and 1 black. It is a 2/2 zombie. It's got Death Touch, and other zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. And it's the ability that I like the most. Whenever another zombie you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life. So basically, this makes your opponent think twice before swinging, killing you off your zombies. Because especially if you've got this on the field, not only got +1/+1, but basically you can drain them for life. Especially with the grave crawlers, if you're attacking with them and you're recasting them and they're killing them, basically they're losing 1 life each time they kill the creature. So basically you're sapping the life out of them as you go along. Right. And that is why I run 4 of them, because trust me, when you get 2 of these out, swinging a 4/3 creature, your opponent does not like it. So moving on to my last creature that I run, which is 3 mana, and it is Stillman Cavalier. It's a zombie knight, and it's 2 attack, 1 defense. Now this is pretty unique for me, and the reason why I like this so much is it's got protection from white and from black. And its abilities are tap 1 white black, Stillman Cavalier gains flying till end of turn. Same again, Stillman Cavalier gains first strike till end of turn. Tap 2, Stillman Cavalier gets +1 attack, +0 defense until end of turn. And basically you can cast it for 1 mana and 1 black or white, and 2 black or white. This, especially with going in my store with a lot of people who are playing black or white, it's an absolute nightmare for people. Basically they cannot block the creatures, I can nullify their attacks and it's still alive. It causes headache with people, this card, and it is an app, and especially you can give it flying as well, so you can basically go, oh, you've got flying, oh, I'm basically going to fly over your creatures. And it is basically, you can just swing all day with that. So basically they're my creatures, I run about that much, and then I sort of change it with my sideboard as the game needs. So for my enchantments that I run 2 types of enchantments. Firstly, I run Bad Moon, which is 1 mana, 1 black, and it basically all black creatures get +1/+1. Now this is a brilliant card as long as your opponent's not got black creatures, but if they've got black, it's helping them as well. So usually if I'm going against a black deck, this is the first thing that I usually sideboard out immediately. But again, it gives your creatures +1/+1, which is a win-win either way. And my second enchantment that I run is Quest for the Gravelord. I run 2 of these. Oh sorry, I run 1 Bad Moon, by the way. Right, Quest for the Gravelord, I've run 2 of them. Basically, whenever a creature dies, you may put a quest counter on Quest for the Gravelord, and its below is remove 3 quest counters from Quest of the Gravelord and sacrifice it. Put a 5/5 black zombie giant creature token onto the battlefield. Basically, grave crawlers die. You put a quest counter on, get 3 of these in the opponent's turn, sacrifice it, get a nice giant 5/5 zombie, or if it's powered up by Black Moon or Diagraph, 6/6/7/7. Win-win. You can't go wrong with that. That can get wrong very quickly. And especially, it can make your opponent sweat pretty quickly with that. There are my enchantments that I run. Now moving on to my instances. I run 4 of Compelling Deterrence, 1 mana, 1 blue, and it's an instant. And its ability is return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then that player discards a card if you control a zombie. Now, considering this returns a permanent, a non-land permanent, so basically, if there's a planeswalker that comes back to armor, you can return it back to the hand. Or better yet, you can just return an enchantment, and as long as you've got a zombie in the field, you force them to discard a card. So if they've got nothing in their hand, they can basically gonna force to discard that card, which is absolutely brilliant because it just causes all kinds of problems for them, and which is why I run 4 of them, because it can be a nightmare for people, especially for 2 mana as well. The next one I run is Terra, which is 1 mana, 1 black, and it is destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. It can't be regenerated. Now this is a good card for 2 mana, as long as your opponent's not running black. If they're running black, this is the first thing that I sort of usually sideboard out, because against a black deck it's going to do nothing. And I run basically two of them. Next up is Doomblade, which is, I run 2 of them as well, which is an instant, and that is the same again. Destroy target non-black creature. It's the same again. They get sideboarded out. They're brilliant. Anything but a black deck. You're going against a black deck, they get sideboarded out immediately. The next instant I run, which is 2 of Impulse, which is 1 mana, 1 blue. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 enemy into your hand, and rest on the bottom of your graveyard, your library in any order. Now again, this is good for searching out cards you immediately need, like Prize Maelgrims, Gravecrawlers, or an instant sorcery you need. So usually I use that at this sort of end of the opponent's turn, have a quick look, see what I can fancy, and then go from there. And then the final instant I've run is Dismember, which is 1 mana, and you can either tap 2 black, or for each one pay 2 life, and target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Again, that's a good card. You can shock yourself for 4, pay 1 mana, and you get to put -5/-5 on any creature you like, which is a nightmare. And I do apologise, there's 1 enchantment I've missed, which is Endless Ranks of the Dead, which is 2 mana and 2 black, and its ability is at the beginning of your upkeep, put X 2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield, where X is half and the number of zombies you control rounded down. So basically, if you control 3 zombies, 1 zombie comes out. If you control 2, you get 1. If you control 4, you get 2. It's a really good card at the very start if you can get this out, because you can cause absolute havoc with this. And last FNM went to, I put this down, and basically I was spawning about 4 or 6 zombies a turn. And trust me, this can get out of control very quickly. I run 2 of these because it's still quite high mana for modern. I might run, I'm very tempted to run 3 of these, just to hope increase my chances of pulling it out in the early stages of the game. Right, that's the enchantment instances. Sorceries, I only run 1 sorcery, and it's 3 of these, and it's Ghoulcaller's Chant, which is 1 mana, and basically its ability is to choose 1, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, or return 2 target zombie cards from your graveyard to your hand. Now, if you're going to choose anything, obviously you're going to return 2 zombie cards. So you can return 2 Stillman Cavaliers back, 2 Diagraph Captains back. For 1 mana, it's a win-win. You get 2 zombie cards straight back in your hand. They thought they are dead. And it is absolutely brilliant. That's all sort of my main cards that I sort of run. Next up, I run, for my lands, I run 4 islands. I run 5 swamps, 4 polluted deltas, 3 sunken hollows, and 4 drowned catacombs. Again, they sort of give me the mana, the curve that I need very quickly, and then I can just sort of tap it for whatever I need. Now for my sideboard, now this kind of depends what your store runs, but this is sort of what I tried to sort of run it to sort of like what's best for me for my store. So for graveyard, I run 2 of Leyline of the Void, which is 2 mana, 2 black, and it's an enchantment, and basically it is, if Leyline of the Void is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. If a card would be put in the opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Now basically, if you draw this in your opening hand, you can go bang, straight on the field. This can cause absolute havoc, especially, and just cause anyone who's using a graveyard to sweat as hell. And I absolutely love it as a card. It is quite expensive though, so it is a little bit of an expensive card to get. I mean, if you can't get that, then you can get the next one, which is Torment Script, which I run 2 of. And basically you can cast it for 0 mana, and then you can tap it, sacrifice Torment Script, exile all cards from the target player's graveyard, which does the exact same thing. So if you can't get Leyline of the Void, get 4 Torment Script, and I run 2 of them basically. My final one that I like to run is Kellett Ace, which is 2 of. It's a 2 mana, 2 black. It's a legendary with Vampire Warrior, lifelink, and his abilities are: if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile that card and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. And then you can tap 2 mana, 1 black, sacrifice another vampire or zombie, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kellett Ace, trait over get. And it has lifelink. Now I put 2 of these in my sideboard. They are absolute killers. Especially you can sacrifice your zombies, pump him up and gain lifelink. It is an absolute beast, and he can just do the amount of damage as possible. And I would usually, if I know a game's going to drag you out and I need life, I will bring him out, as well as Graveyard Hate. Next one I run in my sideboard is a Sorcery, and it's 2 of Languish. It's a 2 mana and 2 black, and all creatures get -4/-4 until the end of the turn. Now comboing this with Diagraph Captain, do a board wipe, and then you can make them lose a bunch of life. It is really nasty. The only downside is it is quite high in mana, which is why I run two of them. I may be looking at, honestly, with A for Revolt, so I'm taking this out for Yogg-Toon's Expertise, which I will say later on what it does, and obviously reason why it's for it. And so moving on to my next one, this is more for life gain hate, and I run off 1 Tainted Remedy, which is an enchantment, and then if an opponent will gain life, that player loses that much life instead, and it's 2 mana, 1 black. Again, against life gain, that just kills them immediately. And if I was going up against a mirror match, I would put 2 in of Demon's Horn, which I run 2 of in my sideboard. It's 2 mana. Whenever a player plays a black spell, you may gain 1 life. So, opponent plays black spell, you gain 1 life. You play a black spell, you gain 1 life. Basically, you can gain life really quickly with this, and it sort of drags out the game to however you want it to. The next one I run is 2 of Whiplash, which is 3 mana, 2 blue. It's an instant trap, and it's if an opponent had 2 or more creatures enter the battlefield under his or her controller's turn, you may pay 1 blue rather than pay 1 Whiplash trap's mana cost. Return 2 target creatures to their own hands. Now really you want to pay the 1 mana. So if you know people are going to put a load of creatures on and it could affect the ball stake and then make them swing, you play this and send them straight in your hand and buy yourself a turn. It is really handy, and which is why I run 2 of them. And the other final 2 that I run is Downsize, which is 1 mana, and it's an instant. Target creature you don't control gets -4 until end of turn, but this is what I usually pay it for, which is its overload cost, which is 2 mana and 1 blue. And it is, you may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. So basically, all their creatures -4 attack. They basically attack for nothing. You go bang, 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 bang. If you can, wipe out a couple of their creatures. So basically, yeah, that's what I run in my sideboard. It could vary depending on what your store runs. I mean, that's sort of what I'm running at the minute. That could sort of change, and once I've gone through bits and bobs. Now, with Aether Revolt coming out, I am sort of looking at changing my sideboard a little bit. I'm looking at possibly running the 1 black mana instead of Doomblade, which is destroy 2. It was Fatal Push. It's 1 mana and destroy target mana cost of 2, or play Revolt and do it for 4. Again, that's sort of more powerful, in my opinion, more better. And I may sideboard Doomblade and Terra for that, but I may see how it goes. And the other one I'm sort of changing is Languish for Humans in Expertise. Basically, all creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn, and then you may cast a 3 mana cost spell of your choice onto the battlefield, and I believe that's still sorcery as well. So basically, you could cast that and then put Diagraph Captain, Gravecrawler, Stillman Cavalier out, and then basically just screw them up with that. It's a nice little board wipe with you putting a creature on. So yeah, guys, so that is basically it. That is what I run in my deck. Let me know, obviously, what you guys think of the comment section and everything. So we're near 100 subscribers, so we will be running a competition when we hit 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to us, subscribe. Let me know what you think, guys. Any suggestions or what you think of it. And from me, take it easy, guys.